Hi guys, I have literally received hundreds of DMs, of messages from you guys right after sharing with you guys the departure and arrival protocols for traveling internationally through Nigeria. I understand that many of you are overwhelmed with the amount of information, the sometimes complexity of the information that we've been given and that I've shared, so you still have questions. Some of the questions that I'm going to answer, I have already answered them in my video, but I understand that it might not have stood out to you, so you missed it and you want clarity on it. A lot of the other questions I'm going to answer, I did not touch up on in my video, so I'm sure it's going to be very useful. There are going to be a few questions that I might not have the answer for you, but I promise once I have it, you'll be the first to know. So this video is all about answering all the most popular questions that you guys have asked me. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, welcome. My name is Sassy Funke and I'm a Nigerian travel and lifestyle content creator. I'm also the founder of Travel to Niger. Travel to Niger is your #1 trusted platform for travel to and from Nigeria. On our Instagram page right now, we're sharing a lot of information to help the average Nigerian traveler be a little bit more informed when it comes to travel in general, but it's really more important now because of the pandemic. So we're sharing information that I know you're going to find useful. So make sure you check us out on Instagram, Travel to Niger, and turn on your notifications. There is so much more to come from this platform. You can also check our website out, www.traveltoniger, where we put information that I know every single Nigerian traveler will find useful in their travel journey. Before we get started in this video, please give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and enjoy the video. I'm going to quickly add that if you do have any questions after watching this video thoroughly, yes, please feel free to ask it. I'm going to try after this video to actually put in the description box all the questions that I've answered and the timestamp for it, so you can easily find the answer to the question you're looking for. It's just to make it easier for you. First question. Don Wines says, how much is the cost for the 7-day quarantine stay at the facility approved by the government? First of all, if you have a negative COVID test on arrival, you do not have any symptoms, yes, you're going to spend 7 days in isolation, but it's going to be in your house. In your house. You're not going to a government facility. The only scenario whereby you go to a government approved facility is if you arrive in Nigeria without a COVID test result. Then they'll put you there at a cost to you, which we don't know because they didn't state what the cost is. Another scenario whereby you could end up in a government facility is if you have a negative COVID test, but you arrive in Nigeria and you start showing symptoms at the airport as if you have COVID. At that stage, they can take you to a government facility. But I don't think in that scenario you would have to pay because you actually came in with the required COVID, negative COVID test, if that makes sense. Second question. What's the protocol for departure from Nigeria International Airport? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to link this below because I've already done a video on that. So definitely check that out if you have the similar question. So Ngozi Odigbo asks, will travelers visiting for just 7 days require in-country tests? This question has been asked a lot, and some of the variations of the question is, if I'm going to Nigeria for less than 7 days, do I need a COVID test? Like, would I have to do a COVID test in country? So this is the issue with this 7-day issue that you're having. Legally, from what the government has said, or I won't say legally, but from what they've said, you need to self-isolate in Nigeria for 7 days upon arrival. So ideally, you shouldn't be interacting with anybody in that 7 days, right? So the truth is, if you're coming for business or you're coming for anything else, you should be staying longer than 7 days because you should not be out doing anything in that 7 days, right? So in conclusion, the reality is you shouldn't really be going to Nigeria if you're only going there for 7 days, ideally, right? But it doesn't matter whether you're going for 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, you definitely have to pay for the COVID test in advance to even be allowed to enter Nigeria. What happens in Nigeria after? Honestly, I can't give you a clear answer on that. But ideally, you shouldn't really be traveling to Nigeria for 7 days only. So the next set of questions I'm going to be answering actually came from Travel to Niger, and there were a lot of questions. So brave yourself, guys. Let's start. Okay, so _onyechi asks, do we have to print the form from the mail sent to us for confirmation, or we could show them the proof on our phones? I believe she's referring to once she's registered online and she's paid for her COVID test and they send a confirmation, that does she have to actually print it out, or is it okay to take an electronic copy, like a digital copy on her phone to show at the airport? I've been receiving feedback from a lot of people in Nigeria that have arrived already, that have gone through this process, and they have said print it out, because you need to actually give them a copy at the airport. Print it out. Even though I know that the guideline says that it's fine if you show it on your phone, or that it's fine to show it on your phone, I would advise you, with all things Nigeria, you have to be extra. Just print it out to avoid trouble. A_Y_Kura asks, do we need a COVID-19 test when departing from Nigeria? Thank you. So when departing from Nigeria, it's a little bit different, because whether you need a COVID-19 test is determined by the country that you're going to, right? So if the UK says, before you come to our country, you need to do a COVID test, you have to do a COVID test. If they say you don't need to do one, you don't need to do a COVID test. So it's not the same protocol for arrival that it is for departure, basically. And the COVID test is, as I said, is determined by the country you're going to. So for example, I recently shared on Travel to Niger that if you're going to Dubai, the UAE has said that anybody coming into their country or flying through their country has to basically do a COVID-19 test. And not only that, they have to do a COVID-19 test from designated labs that they've basically accredited to say we are only taking tests that results from this particular labs. If you want to check out, for example, what those labs are, I'll put a link down below to show you exactly which labs that you can go to in Nigeria, for example. Next question is from Hart Arduni. She goes, thank you, Sassy Funke, Travel to Niger. My questions are, do I have to pay into Lagos laboratory portal when my destination is not Lagos? Let me take that first, right? So she's basically asking that maybe she's traveling to Imo State after she lands in Lagos. Like, does she have to actually get paid for a Lagos test, basically? You need to understand that when they've Nigeria has, I believe, created this whole portal for doing tests, the two destinations that all passengers currently are going to is Abuja and Lagos. Nobody is looking at specifically where you are going yourself, right? So you need to do tests that are within those cities. Maybe over time they might have designated labs in other cities, but for now I believe it's only Lagos and Abuja. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but from what I've heard, the feedback, the tests can only be done in Lagos and Abuja so far. Next part of the question is, what has been done to people traveling to other states? I pretty much sort of explained that. Now this question has been very popular. She also asked, for children under 4, do I have to pay the 50,400 naira COVID test for them? So essentially she's asking that, are children exempted from doing the COVID-19 test? And I wish I could give you a straight answer, to be honest, on this, because I have tried to get the information for you guys. I actually, first of all, tried to call one of the accredited labs that Lagos State or the government has basically said can do COVID tests for Nigerians or for passengers traveling to Nigeria. And they said, oh, they believe that maybe people under 12 are exempted, but they're not sure. They'll get back to me. They never did. I then reached out to the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission on Twitter, and what I asked them was this: So let me see. I'll put it on the screen too, exactly what I asked them. I explained, who I was, and I said, is the COVID-19 test required for arrival in Nigeria, also required for babies? I asked. They replied, good morning, thank you for reaching out to us. The COVID test is only for adults. I now asked them a follow-up question. What is the age limit, please? I never got a response, right? So there's a bit of, I can't give you what's the age limit, but it seems that there's some exception. I know, for example, when you're traveling to Dubai, the UAE has stipulated that children under 12 do not need to do a COVID test, but I don't know if that's the case for Nigeria. Once I find out, I'll let you guys know on Travel to Niger, so make sure you follow us on Instagram and turn your notifications on so that you don't miss the answer to that question. Lasha Wuchinia, I can't say this name well. She says, I live in the US. What specific labs do I need to use for COVID testing? Or can I use my own lab and update to the portal? And are they not aware that these tests take longer? I'll be traveling to see my husband during the Christmas period. This was a very popular question too. If you go onto the portal itself and you put in your information in terms of your departing city and where you're going to in Nigeria, it will let you know whether you can just upload your own COVID test or you have to basically go to a specific lab to get it done. I don't want to say, okay, because I know, for example, for the UK, you can use any sort of accredited test lab. But for the US, I believe it's the same, but I want you to just go through the process yourself. Go onto the website, the NITP, go onto the portal yourself and actually go through the process, and it will let you know whether you can put your own test in there or you need to use an accredited lab. Tara911 says, what other lab options show up on the portal? It looks like Lagos is the only option so far. So similarly to what I said before, Lagos and Abuja I believe are the only options thus far. Queen Fads asks, for the COVID test in Nigeria, do I go to the arrival page or the departing page? And can I pay for the Niger test before uploading my test results in the UK? You go to the arrival page that you're going to Nigeria. Basically, that's the page you go to. So MRZ_Shola_Diamond asks, aside from the COVID test paid online, is one paying again at the lab in Nigeria? So basically she's asking, once I pay online, basically I'm in the UK, do I have to now pay again when I get to the lab in Nigeria? No, you do not. You pay online on that portal and that is it. You're not paying anything anymore. I had another question from Fumi NYC. What if I have a short trip to Nigeria, like 7 days? So in this scenario, if you have a short trip to Nigeria if you have a short trip for 11 days, essentially what the government has said is that 7 days you're going to be in isolation, right? So you shouldn't really be seeing anybody. You should be at home or your hotel isolating, right? And on the 7th day, you do your COVID test at the lab, and if you're negative and you find out you're negative on the 8th day, you can enjoy the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th day doing whatever you want, basically. A question that's been super popular, Ronke_101 asks, can I do the test in an NHS hospital? Right? So this question has been many people have asked it, and I'm going to give you a categorically easy answer. Can you do the NHS test and use that as a fit to fly? Legally, you cannot, right? You only do the NHS test if you have symptoms of COVID. They're not really instructed to give it to you just because you want to travel. If you're getting it just because you want to travel, it is illegal. So I would not encourage anyone to do the NHS test unless it's like a private NHS test that is a fit to fly test. But the free one, I wouldn't advise you to do it. Also, the second part is, I'm not sure about this, but a lot of people have said that the NHS result test that you get, the free one, is via text message. This does not work. For traveling back to Nigeria, you need an actual proper document, not just say, oh, you're negative, basically. Next question, Ronke_101 asks also. She says, if I arrive in Nigeria, I am negative, will they ask me to isolate? And if I do, is it going to be in a government facility or in my own home? Again, it's going to be in your own home as long as you don't have any symptoms of COVID on arrival. Abilin Baba asks, please, I need to ask if it's a must to pay the money before we leave our various countries. Please pay the money before you leave. Pay it, because that is the only way you can be assured that the airline will fly you. Second of all, if they even for some reason they even fly you back to Nigeria, when you get to Nigeria, someone might be harassing you at the airport to get more money from you just because you did not pay this in advance. So I would say, advise you, please pay it before. Olumiyide asks, why the 50K? That's the cost that they've put on it, you know. It's like that's the price to, you know, if that's the price to heaven, you pay the money, that's it, right? And to give everyone a sense, like in the UK, a lot of the private tests cost around £150. In Ghana, I believe the test is about $130 or so. Lloyd Delhi asks, the country I'm traveling to does not require any specific lab, so can I do my test in any of the government centers in Lagos before departing? If the country you're departing to requires you to do a COVID test but does not specify a lab for you to use, then it is fine. But please double check this. As I mentioned before, for example, the UAE says there are specific labs that you must use. So make sure you double check this information before you go ahead and pay for a test somewhere and have to pay for another one again. Nosa Gloria asks, how long does it take to receive the barcode from the NITP portal after completing and submitting the required information? Is it immediately, hours, or days? I'm asking this question because in the USA, test centers cannot guarantee test results to come out in a timely manner, 3 to 5 days. This requirement is asking for tests to be done within 96 hours, 4 days. What if the test result is not out till day 5? If the test result is not out till day 5, you will not be allowed to board the plane. Like, that is fact. No airline is going to risk it right now to board you on a plane if your test is aged more than 4 days. So that's just fact. So you need to just figure out how you can find a center, like a lab, that can get that done for you quicker. So the first question you actually asked was about the time between receiving sort of the confirmation, the barcode, once you've processed all the information on the NITP portal. The feedback I've been hearing on this has not been good, to be honest. Like, it's not automatically sometimes. I think maybe there's a backlog, there's a system issue. A lady said it took like a few days, like 2 days, 3 days. So that's something to bear in mind. But what I would advise around this is try and maybe travel on a Saturday and maybe avoid traveling on a Monday, because by the time you've sent your details to them on the NITP portal on a Friday, maybe there's nobody there to process it on a weekend. That's sort of the what I'm deducing from what the feedback I've been hearing on Travel to Niger. But the truth is, it's unpredictable. Like, there is no set time that I've seen that has been consistent in regard to people receiving confirmation. Like, I'm sorry, I don't even know how that's even it should be automatic. We all know it should be like submit confirmation within an hour or so, but I don't believe that's the case for everybody right now. So Olaita_Omodos asks, I just saw your post on what you have to do before you leave your port of exit and on arrival in Nigeria. Very good information, but more information is needed. Completely understand. What if I'm just coming to Nigeria for less than 7 days? There's no way I can get a repeated COVID test done after 7 days of arrival. Similarly to what I said to you guys before, if you're going to Nigeria for less than 7 days, not legally, but you really shouldn't be, because you need to be self-isolating. Like, what are you're basically going to Nigeria to be by yourself, which is probably not what your probably not your plan, but that doesn't tie in with what the government expects you to be doing in that 7 days, if you understand what I mean. Sandy Toes.15 asks, can animals come to Nigeria? Dogs, I need to bring my girl home, my girl, when I come for Christmas. I completely understand, like, a lot of people have pets and are wondering if they want to bring their pets back home. I believe pets are allowed, but you need to probably reach out to a government organization for like quarantine pets and get the information from there. I personally don't know the information, the answer to this, but I know there's a government body that you probably need to speak to gather what the requirements for that is. It's November_11 asks a very relevant question. She asks, please, what happens if I have a connecting flight and will not get to Nigeria until the next day? Will the airline in the UK allow me to board even though my 96 hours has passed, but I boarded in the US before the 96 hours passed? Thank you. Right? Many people ask this question. Your 96 hours, right, I believe, counts from the first flight. If your booking is one booking, it's literally from that first flight. Is it 96 hours at that point that you're leaving the US, not in between where you're going to? Because you can imagine someone that is traveling from Asia and they have many connecting flights and it takes them like 2-3 days to get to Nigeria. Obviously the 4 days will have elapsed, right? So it starts counting from your first exit, where you're leaving, from 96 hours from that point. 2shy._, I want to ask that, assuming Royal Air Morocco resumes, because now they are closed until the 10th of September, do you have an idea if Nigeria accepts international flights from Morocco? I don't believe they have permission to land right now. So I guess once they do, we'll know. Andrew035 asks, do foreigners going to countries that don't require a PCR test still need to do one to exit Nigeria, even if they don't intend to return? No. If you're leaving the country Nigeria and the country that you're going to, as I said before, does not require it, you do not have to do one. Agotski asks, do we still need yellow fever vaccine record to enter Nigeria? Lufthansa airline refused to check me in because I didn't have one in March 2020 and I had to rebook. I'll always say it's better to be safe than sorry with when it comes to yellow fever vaccines, the record. Just get it done and avoid any drama, because we know get to Nigeria, they'll start finding issues for you. So just get it done. So another question here from IB Odofia, and I believe I'm not sure, asks, this is a big contradiction between the official release that specifies the pre-departure test should be done not earlier than 7 days, and the supposed briefing that you state says 4 days. And then again, the official website you screen grab, it still carries 7 days. So what is the right thing? I ask because it may not be as easy to do the test and get the results within 4 days in some locations. It is 4 days. Take it from me, I don't lie. Like, I have enough information to let you know that it's 4 days. And you know, with Nigeria, whenever there's discrepancy between two things, always pick the stricter one. The stricter one is the safer one. Self-Emancipation asks, can I arrive in Lagos and self-isolate in Abeokuta? I'm looking at the Ogun State labs listed on the NCDC website, and there isn't any lab in Abeokuta for the retest. Maybe I'm missing something. They're certainly making trips for those interested in traveling to Nigeria complicated. Canada's approach seems to be more simple, straightforward. I had my mind made up that I was definitely traveling in October, but honestly, these guidelines are making me think twice. Thanks, Sister Funke, for all the great info. I'm hoping you'll be doing updates as we move beyond 5th of September. First of all, definitely be doing more updates for you guys. Definitely follow Travel to Niger and check out the website, because there's going to be a lot of information on there for you guys. Yes, unfortunately, I think you have to self-isolate in the city you arrive in that is operational, which is Lagos and Abuja, as I stated before. Things are tough, it's tough, right, guys, because there is a pandemic and perhaps the numbers are not crazy in Nigeria at the moment, and maybe the government is just trying to just be strict so that nothing bad happens, so that we don't lose family, so that we don't get sick. I understand that we need to find a way to move forward and live life with COVID, and hopefully with time the government will sort of like be a little bit more relaxed with regard to the requirements. We can only hope so. So guys, that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you still have questions, please join our Facebook community. We have a Facebook Travel to Nigeria private community whereby everyone pretty much shares their experience with traveling during this pandemic, and you will find it very resourceful. Thank you once again. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Follow me, Sassy Funke, on my Instagram, and also subscribe here on my YouTube. God, I'm telling you to do so much, but you know, support your girl here. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love, and I will see you guys on my next video.